is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. We got GDP out, came in better than expected in terms of growth, which is good. I'm just trying to figure out how to. I got to do something with my screens. Hold on one second. I'm gonna do extended. No, that didn't work. Yeah, for some reason I woke up today and built-in mirror display settings. For some reason my screen got all messed up, and then I cannot get TOS to move over to a different screen. Very interesting. Let's see. Let me try one more thing real quick. This is all crazy. All right, we'll just move some things around. We'll make it work. I gotta look into why that is. But we got Andy in the house. Good morning to you. We got Bill, Brian, Diane, Jay. Good morning to Jeremy, Jill, Joe. We got John Miller in the house. Good morning to you. JT, Kevin, Marius. Good morning. Martina, Mike, Sebastian, Win, Waleed. The squadron is here. All my peeps out in YouTube land, which I have no idea what screen you are on. Actually, hold on. I think I could do this. You guys could all see TradingView, right? We're on the same page so far with that. I think we're good with that. And then all my YouTube peeps. Man, it's crazy. Oh, there we go. We got Richard Jet. We got Jeff. Cute critters. Good morning to all the lurkers in the background as well. Let's pull up the SPY. We'll see where we are starting from there. We did have a couple earnings come out over the weekends as well. No, the weekend. Last night. So we'll get into some of that as well. But SPY is gapping down again. So the pain just continues for the bulls at the market open. I think what we need for an actual correction in this market is just that big gap down day. Some kind of capitulation where it just feels like the world is ending and then you rally from there. I'm not seeing much support in the way, just in terms of at least the Lux Algo volume areas. So I'm looking at maybe 414.97 we could get to. I'm looking at maybe 412.75, 412, 410.87, something in those zones. We do have the 618, but we're past that magic number. I would not be surprised if today at open we actually do rally a little bit. I think we might rally a little. I don't know if we get this big massive move. But I have my magic number at 418.31. We obviously got a good close right below that yesterday. This is a gap down after a whole heck of a lot of selling, putting in new lows, lower highs. I don't know how we finished today. That's the caveat to that. But I do think we probably open maybe a quick little red candle because we're probably freaking some people out. And then I think we bounce back. Maybe we reject this 418.31 zone and then we roll down for the rest of the day. That I'm not sure of. But I do think leaning a little bit more to the buller side after all of the selling. We've had 2 days of rally, and those are probably should get a medal for the world's smallest candles. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 kind of hangout days. I think the TLT is at least interesting. That was showing us a little rally. I'm going to do the Qs first, but this is also just kind of a retest gap. Again, Qs out of everything, honestly, it's been holding the best. We still got the 200 on the Qs coming in. I got it somewhere around 345.52, but yeah, this would be a decent spot. We got, let's see if the bulls would want to save this anywhere. I think we're at that level now. So I got one level of 348.53. If we want to hold that one, and I got one more level. This is the zone. This is 347.87 or 88. If that starts to break down and we start to get close below it, then we get kind of ugly in this market. We don't have anything really till about 339. So if you don't think we're ugly already, that would be the spot where things could pick up a little bit. TLT. TLT, so pre-market, we are up about 40 cents, so nothing too crazy. But this is where we kind of came in for that double bottom. We just retested this one yesterday. It was a gap and go. There's probably going to be a little pressure to the downside, to at least pressure to break out of yesterday's high. That'd be a good sign for the bulls if we can. That would be a negated gap and go on the day. But still in this range, and I don't know, maybe we're in this range for 3 months and we don't pop out on TLT. In a weird way, though, that's a little bit more normal for the bonds. So they shouldn't be moving the way they do. So if we could get that, I think that's actually a decent sign. But yeah, I don't know. I will take a look at Tesla. Otherwise, that it's just inside day on TLT, so nothing too crazy. Let's look at Tesla. Oh, so annoying yesterday. I knew where the resistance was. It looked like it was about to turn a little bit before. For me to make the trade work, I had to go just slightly above the resistance. And Tesla popped to slightly above the resistance just in time to wick me out. Like that was me getting wicked out. And I knew it as soon as I got wicked out, it was a reversal candle. I'm like, they got me. They got me on that one. But it's all good. We did make it back on NVIDIA. We got Tesla. So Tesla is a little bit of a retest gap as well. I don't know how much of a retest this is going to get. I would the next VPOC isn't until 207.12. That's been retested already. 248 would kind of be the next level that wasn't really tested yet. So I'm looking for 248. It's a lot of room to the downside. I don't think I'd be the first one to short this one either because it is technically a retest gap. But if you could short this one, if you want to look for shorts, and again, I would love to go long. It's probably just the wrong time though. Just knowing that we're probably going to get a bounce of some kind of eventually. But so the question is, do I have enough confidence in Tesla to actually go long? Probably the answer is no to that. I'm looking at first resistance at 212.81. So that gives me $2.20 to the higher side. I'd have to be very quick in and out. The next target, 213.85. The next one, 215. So if we can start hitting the 213.85, maybe that I'd have to have a tight setup, but maybe could hit a 1.2 and then like a 1.4, 1.5 into 215. So my risk to reward is not great to play this retest gap. I think I'd rather sit on my hands, see where this Tesla wants to pop to, and then I think we have a lot of room down to the short side on this one still. So that would be the better risk to reward, at least on this trade. Oracle, ORCL. Oracle. Well, they'll just answer the question. Is Oracle a buy? When I wrote yada yada yada. In fact, I see recent drop in share price as enticing bull buying opportunity for long-term investors. Well, everything's enticing on a long enough time frame. So nothing crazy there, but yeah, just we're still inside day. Interesting spot that we were opening for sure. We are below the 200. We're below that VWAP. Trying to find that next location down. Next one down is probably about $99.95. So you do have about almost $2 into that one. Buck 50. And then if today is another ugly day, we probably come down to about 98.43. So there's some room, probably still some pressure. That was a pretty horrific bearish close. We tried to save it here on this green candle, and nope, all of that failed, and we did close below it. I think the pressure on Oracle is still down to the short side for sure. Let's see. Take a look at RCL reported today. So they have a good beat, surprise beat on earnings, up 11%. They also came in with 83 million more in revenue, and this one's been absolutely wild. This has been all over the place. So initial reaction, they bought this thing up, then they bought it all the way back down, then it came up and just got crushed down again, and it's been all over the place. Otherwise, report was good. Everything that they said in the conference was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of what you want to hear as a bull. Let's look at the daily though. Good little gap up. We do have resistance right here. My guess is, especially with that chop out of the gate, this thing fades a little bit. Maybe down to like 83.05 is a spot to start looking. I'll put a alert there. That alert's gonna go off right at open because we're gapping above it. But this is technically a retest, and we have the 200 right there. Otherwise, you do have a lot of room on this, up to $86. What was the high of this one? I think my wife still owns this one. 113. She got COVID lows on this one, which is good. So she's not concerned. This would be our first little potential higher high, higher low on a very small time frame. Still, I think well within the downtrend. See if we get that. My game plan on this one. Let's see if I can add this to the list. We'll move it up. But if we can, see if this one fades first, and then I think it's actually a decent buying opportunity. LUV. uh I think you'd have to play that fade. I think that would be your attempt. Strong selling on this one. I mean, LUV is down to $23. Yeah, I would have to play this one as a fade. I mean, we have not much of support except for one little spot where bulls did come in previously. See if maybe there's a little panic drop at open. I don't know who'd be panicked though. To me, it seems like all the shorts had the easiest short of their life without, I mean, they had to survive like a day here. They had to survive one decent day there, one decent day there. This is their biggest worry day or period of time, is 3 days in a row that was kind of flat. So I think this has been, for bears, one of the easiest shorts. I don't think I would short it here. So yeah, the only thing I would say is probably look for that fade. If we just run into yesterday's day, that would be 60 cents of upside. So that's not great. And then that's something that you'd want to consider too. Can you make this trade work where you really could get, I mean, I like to set trades up where you could really try to get 2 Rs on the trade. It's not a lot of room unless I have some inkling that this thing is, I mean, look at that selling pressure that came in yesterday. Good volume on that candle. There's a lot of people on top of all that run that's already still profitable as short. Yeah, I think this fades. The question is to where. So if this one gets a red candle in it, is other airlines doing the same thing? We'll see that in a second. AAL, there will be a bounce. I don't know when, but it's hard to be the first one to go bullish. Actually, AAL looks decent too. That one's got a little gap and go above yesterday's VPOC. We're probably looking for, again, small targets, 111.17, and then up to like 111. I'm used to like Nvidia, Oracle, any of the 11.31 would probably be, I think, where we max today. But that's a little bit of bullishness there. When crude comes down, crude's been holding though. Airlines have still been coming down, so there's a little disconnect. Crude's been coming down a little bit and kind of holding in the range, while airlines are still just absolutely plummeting. AAL is the only one with like really a gap and go. I did pick up some AAL yesterday too, but just to nibble at it a little bit. Delta still have to work through today's VPOC. So again, the only thing is if you have a gap and go on AAL, you've got, maybe we fade LUV, maybe Delta could get over this. And then Delta actually has the most room probably on anything to move. That could take us up to maybe 31.97. So I'm going to put Delta on the list out of all of them, even though AAL is the gap and go. LUV's got the fade, but if all the airlines today start to move, that could be good. UPS. Oof. think I got rid of my FedEx puts way too soon. This probably looks like a decent fade as well. What was the volume yesterday? We had some volume, nothing too crazy. Let me see if we're holding any levels. We're down into this little consolidation area, so this is probably a fade as well. Again, we're down a decent amount on UPS. This one's also got some better room. You got about almost $4 just to close that gap. Yeah, UPS probably looks like a fade as well. Nvidia. Not much happening on Nvidia. We've got decent support below us, 415.45. We are below yesterday's VPOC, kind of at the lows of yesterday. If we do decide to go bullish, first stop I would be looking for is about 423.86, then about 427.63, maybe into like 430.87. So it's got a lot of room to the higher side. That being said, you also have a decent amount of room to the lower side if 414.68 breaks. So we're getting close to that. We almost hit that yesterday. I think how I would design this trade, I don't know if it's going to be correct or not, but you have really good support. Looks like at 410-ish. 410.11. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I am back. Yeah, I'd be looking at, we have really good support down here. If this thing opens, comes down to like 414.68, starts to bounce, we should probably get stops maybe at like 408-ish if we could. And then we could probably play some kind of retest of yesterday's selling. I would think. RH. RH. Just inside day on RH looks like it's still continuing to be weak. I don't really see any support down here. Maybe our next support comes in somewhere closer to about 219.67. But it's another one that just obviously from 400 down to 225. No real bouncing. We did start to break some key levels. So I would say there's probably a lot more. And then you got all that volume. That should be your resistance. I think you have a lot more room to the downside on this one. But for today, I don't really see too much. I'd put more pressure to the bear side just in case, but otherwise I don't really have a huge edge. AMD. AMD is slaughtered. Or that was RH, because RH is definitely slaughtered. AMD is still kind of hanging out. I'm looking at strong resistance. That was a not a great close yesterday. However, we are still inside yesterday's candle. We have now a lot of work to do to go bullish on AMD. So the first stop, I think, to a bullish direction would be about 96.08, and then to the next level after that, 96.62. So if we can start breaking 96.62, then we have a really good opportunity for a pop. I think we got one more stop in the way, 97.42. But those are going to be some key, very, very strong levels that we got to get through. The only thing I think that anybody playing or holding AMD is looking for is this is potentially your double bottom. Nothing looks like that's probably going to hold. A little bit of good consolidation in here to the downside, probably looking for like 94.72. So about $1 to the downside still before maybe you see that pop come in. And even that, I'm concerned about especially in this market, they're not being very nice to bulls. RCH, we looked at it. Let's see if we can pull that up again. RCL, I mean. Amazon is a little bit of a gap down into support. This one probably, if this one starts to break, so out of the gate, I'd be bullish. I don't know if does that mean I want to trade this bullish? Probably not. That was a horrible close yesterday. But I don't think I'd be the first one to go bearish. I'm looking at 120.39. That's going to be some kind of support. If that starts to break and hold, then I think we have 117.48 on Amazon. But again, I would probably look for a bullish pop first. We might get caught up at 121.61. And then after that, we probably have about 123.20. So I don't think it's going to be the most amazing bullish move. It's probably still more of a short. That looks, again, horrific close, good volume. But see if we get a little bounce first, and then I think that would be a decent push lower. Google with great earnings. Getting clobbered. Clobber City. Another one. Gap down. This one probably fades too. I wouldn't want to. I don't think I have an edge one way or the other. I'd want this thing to come down a little bit more to go bullish. So come down to like 121.74. Maybe we did that pre-market already, but somewhere in the 121.74, I think that would be a decent spot to try to go long. So I would to a bullish side, if we open out of the gate, we get a good pop. Yeah, maybe we can make some kind of case there that we have some room in a bullish direction. 126.18, but I would like to see a red candle first. I'm going to throw this one higher on the list. This would be a good candidate for if we get any type of red candle. Maybe we take a break above it. AAPL. We got not a great open. If we open here, we're still at the bottom of this candle. All of this is essentially those 2 days we're inside this candle. So yeah, I think we get some more pressure to the bear side on this one. Maybe a small little retest first. Unlike Amazon, I'd probably wait for a green candle come in, look for a breakdown on Apple. I think we have earnings coming out soon, November 2nd. We got MBLY. Nice gap here. It's not on earnings. Or maybe they did have earnings. I just don't have the results yet. It does look like earnings are coming out today. Good gap and go though. Target's probably 36.63. We might make it up to. Got a little resistance above us, so 35.67. If we get a little pullback on this one, that might be fun. Again, I don't see the earnings, so I just don't know if TradingView. It looks like it was supposed to come out in the morning. Yeah, before the market bell, but I just don't see the results yet. And we're probably gonna have lighter volume on this one too, so just be careful of volume and spreads. But otherwise, that's like, besides AAL, that's the first kind of gap and go, and that one's actually clearing a pivot. So probably lean a little bit more bullish if the earnings are out. Otherwise, expect to be in that trade, and then earnings coming out while you're in it could be rough. But they should have been out already. Netflix looks weak, but again, this is a retest gap. We could probably push into the better opportunity, at least the short would be about 412.38. Obviously, we know we've been kind of strong on this one. I'm looking at targets to the downside if you do short 407.15. That might also be an interesting spot to go long. I don't know if I'd go long again in this market. It might be too soon unless TLT is pushing and not just even holding sideways. But this is the low of today's what, Thursday, so Wednesday, Tuesday. So this is the low of Tuesday we're opening at now. Slight little retest gap. I think we can at least get into 411.26. And then if we could get to like 412.38, that'd be a good spot to short. You could go stops with really anywhere above 414.14. But if you get stops at like 416.23, that might be decent. Some levels of support below us. All right. We'll go to RCL again. But yep, gap up. Now we are opening above that 200 with plenty of room to run. So last time we looked at this thing, we were below that 200. We were looking for that pullback. Watch now for this to be our support. So see if we get any type of support at 84.11, somewhere in that zone, 84.15. So a little bit of a pullback there. Again, what I'm looking for in this one is that red candle. Give me a red candle. I'll try to take a break. We do have some room on this one. I think we can get caught up though at 85.66. But if we could break that, the next stop would be about 86.08. And if the market is going to also rebound and push, 86.72 would be targets. So a lot of ifs on that one as far as where we go. Now we're gapping down below. So we have to really see where this thing opens. Yep. That 84.11 zone, and it seems like it's a little volatile out of the gate. We did look at UPS. Is FedEx moving as well? Yeah, I got in there bearish with some puts. I think I sold it on this day, though. Why don't I just wait? Starting to come into a little volume area. This is probably a retest as well. Take a look at Square. Square's got a little support, potential double bottom. Still looks a little bit to the weak side, though. I'm not going to be probably playing that one today. Risk reward would be to go long on it, but you have a good shot at getting stopped out before that happens. DraftKings, Airbnb. What about CCL? Do you have any sympathy plays in CCL? CCL, they've already reported earnings, so that's out of the way. Yeah, same thing here. I mean, it is a gap and go on CCL. That looks decent. First target, $11.74, then up to about $11.86. And final target, if we get through any of that, would be about $12.28. So it's got some room on it. Sanjay says PayPal. Still looks pretty weak. Pretty weak. Yeah, I think the better play for a trade would be still bearish. Again, the only thing that could really save us is we're toward the lows of yesterday. We got some kind of bouncing at 51.27, but we're already opening below VPOC around 51.64. So we're gonna need to get above that, get a close above 51.67. Then we can make a case at least the high of yesterday, so 52.56. And in some crazy world, maybe we could see 53.63. But that is the opening bell. Everybody in YouTube land, I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Unfortunately, that bell means I do have to disconnect. You guys are incredible, and we'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Later, guys.